Morning, welcome back. My name is Amzat, Coaching Nigeria Enterprises. Yeah, from where we stop on Servlet lesson, we created a demo class and we arrived at this. You could probably notice that last time when we ran our Tomcat, there was some error. I've cleared that, so now our Tomcat doesn't run throwing an exception again. Now back to the class. Now today I'm going to try to make our servlet, our demo servlet, to do something, and that is to get us date. That means if you come here, this is my first web application class I have, then we want to have the date. So I'm going to come to my index because I actually want to use the index page, which is the home page, to prompt that. So let me create an anchor tag which you can actually click on, and this is just basic. So I will say demo. Now please note, if you want to use anchor tag, the anchor tag, anyhow it's being pronounced, to create a link that will call a servlet, the rule is that you use the servlet name as the value of your href. So now in this case, I want to use this tag to call demo. So I'm going to say, okay, thank you. That's close. Thank you. Oh no. Okay, thank you. This should be a. Now let's say what's the time. What is the time? So that should be effective, and if I come here and I click on this, I should have what's the time. So now if I click on what is the time, of course it's going to take me to my demo class, but it's not really telling me the time. So I have to make my demo class, which is my demo servlet, to actually create the time. Now I have to come with my out object again, because I will say out dot. Now what is the out object? I said in the last class that I will tell us about the out object. The out object is an object which make us to print out to the front end. It makes us to print out at the front end whatever we want to print out. So it is actually being gotten from the get writer. In this case, we said response.get writer. So our out object is being derived from our response object. It's using the get writer method. So you call the get writer method upon the response object, and mind you, the response object is not what you will create yourself. The response object will be created by the server itself. So it's one of the things the server is going to do for you. The server will create a response object for you, and the response object will be of the type HTTP servlet response. So that is why you see that our process request actually has two parameters when declared. It has HTTP servlet request and HTTP servlet response. These two values will be filled in by the server itself. So now that's why I said response object dot get writer. Now the get writer object is going to create the print writer. So the out object is an instance of the print writer, and that object is what we use to actually print out or write out to the front end. And remember that when we want to write out to the front end understands markup language, JSON, CSS. So in the case we want to write out the HTML, we will be putting our text out in form of what? In form of HTML. And that is why you see that I am actually following the HTML rule. Document doc type HTML, this is HTML5, and my HTML tag, my closing HTML tag, then my body tag, and then my head, of course, and my title. Why am I putting these double quotes? I'm using the double quotes simply because it's a norm in Java, if you want to write out a string has to be in double quotes. But what string did I want to write out? I want to write out a string that is actually a tag in the front end, and that's why you are seeing me using this tag like text. So now I want to say out dot print inline. I'm actually using print inline because I want everything to be printed on a new line, just like I am coding in HTML. So every tag has to be in a new line. You know, if you are familiar with front-end development. So now I actually want to use my H5 because the H are actually of 6 types. So I want to use my H5, then I'll close my tag, and of course I would also like to close my H5 tag. Yeah, okay, I still need my string because H5 tag. Now that's good, and then a semicolon, and because I want to dynamically generate what is going to be in between the tags, because this is not a static front-end results. I want to dynamically generate what is going to be in between the tags. So I will write a piece of Java code here. So that's why I'm going to say concatenate this string and concatenate. So whatever I want to be putting here, would either be a string or is going to be an object. So now let's try to get it. I have to say calendar because I want to get date and get days with calendar. But before I go there, I would actually want to take you to Java SC11 documentation. So this is the calendar. Now the calendar is of course an abstract class. That means I cannot actually create instance of the calendar. So it's an abstract class, and because it's an abstract class and I actually want an object instance of calendar, then there will be a method that's norm in Java. If the class is abstract, you cannot use new keyword to create object of it, and but if you need object of that class, there would be a static method called getInstance that can give you object of that class. Now let's go to the constructor. Although you can see this constructor, but you can't use it as new keyword. Okay, let me show you now what I'm trying. If I say new calendar, I think calendar is DAR. If I'm doing my spelling, it will tell you cannot create object instance of calendar. Okay, cannot find symbol calendar. Let me just first of all import it. So now I've imported calendar, and it will tell me that I cannot create instance of calendar because calendar is abstract. Calendar is abstract, cannot be instantiated. So even though you are saying the constructor here, does not mean you can instantiate calendar from another class. But you can instantiate it within it, which is what within the calendar class using the getInstance method, which then return object of calendar class. So I will be using this, and because getInstance is static, if you are familiar with the Java very well, any method that is static simply means that you beg the pardon of the class that holds the method by calling the class itself. So I will say calendar. I beg your pardon, calendar. I want to use your object without creating object instance of calendar itself. So I will say getInstance. So I will say getInstance. So it's going to return the calendar object. And if I return the calendar object like that, let's see what it's going to look like. It's going to be a very long result. So let's come here and let's go back a little. Let's click what's the time, and let's see what our Servlet will process for us. Can you see Java UT blah 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 blah? So this is going to give me a very long, but I don't need all of these. I just want to extract my day, my time, and that's all. Not all these lengthy results from the calendar object. So there's another method which is called another method in that calendar documentation called getTime. Now getTime is also a method in the calendar. So and since it is not static, I have to use it upon the object of calendar. And you know that calendar is abstract. I cannot possibly create object instance of it, so that's why I actually use the get instance method, which is static, which then returns the object of calendar. Because now if you check, go back here, if you check the get instance, they said it's going to return calendar object. Now because get time is also a method in calendar class, but it is not static, that means I have to call it upon calendar object, which the get instance has given me. So I'm just going to come here. Okay, what does get time does? Returns a date object representing this calendar time, blah blah blah. So I'll just come here and I will say get time dot get time, because now it's a calendar object. So get time is being called upon all of these, because all of these are highlighted actually return calendar object. That's not what I meant. Okay. I have, sorry, my mouse is kind of coming. Okay, so get back. I don't need you here. Okay, so this is what I actually need. So now let's look at this. Let's go back. Let's click on what's the time. And that's Thursday, January 23rd, 10:32 p.m. and that's seconds of 53 at what? West African time 2020. I'm in Nigeria, West Africa. So now if I come back here, I would like to put to string and then let's look at it so that I can have everything written here formatted as string. So now let's look at it again. So it's going to be the same thing it's expected now. So that's it. The to string is just to ensure that all these objects of calendar, which is now object of date by the calling of get date, is actually converted to string, because now I can say to string return the string representation of this calendar. So now that's good for now, and that's actually what we want to do. We want our servlet to actually get us something, and then that's why we will come here and we actually want our index to take us to the servlet. So what happened when I click on what is the time, a request is being sent to the server requesting for demo servlet to be processed. And upon the processing of demo servlet, how does demo servlet get processed? Demo servlet is being processed by the servlet container, and it first of all creates instance of the demo servlet itself, and upon the creation of the instance of the demo servlet itself, it calls the service method. It calls the init method. I don't have the init method there, so it just executes an empty body because I don't override the init method here. So after that, it calls the service method, and the service method will then execute my do get, because in my anchor tag I don't have a form that is actually specifying my method that is based using my method on get or post. So it's going to execute do get, and my do get will execute my process request, which is this line of code. Now before I go, I was talking about the objects. When you create the out object, the print writer object, which is commonly given as out name, you have to close it. But you can't see me say out.close. That's what is expected, but yet I didn't do that. The main reason why I did not do that is because of the try I'm using. The try block I'm using is not the usual try. Okay, if you're ever familiar with Java, let me just simply come here. Normally try and catch block goes like this. Try and catch block, try this, and then try this. And if this doesn't work, try that, try this. And if this doesn't work, catch something, then finally do this. That's if you are familiar. Finally, is my spelling finally right? I'm not that good. Okay, I think yeah, it's right now. Finally, do this now, and I can have my exception e. So just to make my everything look okay. Oh, what is calling grammar for? Okay. Oh. Okay. Yeah. Catch. Finally. I'm coming. I'll fix that. Okay, I'm back. The mistake then was that I actually used the parentheses there, which should not be so, because finally it doesn't have that. So I fixed that. Now this is how a try catch finally block looks like. If you are familiar with it, it makes you to try something. If it doesn't work, catch it. Like instead of you crashing the program, you catch the error being thrown and the exception being thrown, and a finally block is being executed, whether there was an error or there was no error. This is the usual try and catch block until another try block came out. In the new try block, it makes it possible for you to actually create an instance of a class whose object needed to be closed. Now you can use more than one of it. In fact, you can even put semicolon, put more than one. Let semicolon create a list of instantiation of objects which has to be closed at the end of the day. Now instead of you now being worried about closing the objects yourself, the try block closes it automatically for you. All those objects you've created within the parentheses of the try block is going to be closed automatically by the try block. So that is the main reason why I didn't bother myself closing it. Assuming I didn't do it like this, it will have gone this way. It will have gone like this, which is not too good for me. I don't like it that way. So I would have done this, and I would have said out.close myself manually. Out.close myself, and probably I would have come here and say catch again. Catch. I would have come here and say catch, and I'll say I don't. So and I will have end this with a semicolon. So this is what I will have done. Okay, my try block shouldn't have this then. Okay, this is what I should have done, and let me fix my bug. So okay, a semicolon. You can see I had to close it manually, but why going through this stress? So instead of doing that, I'll just go back to what I love doing most, using that try block that closes it itself. So thank you very much. That will be of today's tutorial. Next time we will be talking about using form to actually send requests to the server and getting a response. So it's going to be an address. You fill in your address, we send it to the server, we kind of check if everything needed is completed, then if it is completed, we save the address and we give you another page as a client telling you that your address has successfully been saved. Otherwise, we return your phone back to you that you should refill. And that's going to be what we're going to be doing next time, and that will be fun. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful time. Bye. And please, I would like you to like this tutorial and give a constructive comment. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful time. Bye.